You are listening to Wicked Psychotherapists, a podcast where two psychotherapists show you that taking care of and learning about mental health doesn't have to be wicked hard.
Hey guys, this is Tanya.
Hi, it's Erin, and welcome to Wicked Psychotherapists.
So we are continuing on our Adam journey. It's now a journey now of all of Adam's world. If you don't know, this is your first time listening, we're talking about Adam Sandler. We talk a lot about his movies. Go back and take a listen.
As opposed to Adam Carolla or Adam something else.
Yeah. I don't know many other Adams, but we mean Adam Sandler. He's the one. He's our guy. Yeah. I don't really know any other Adams. I don't know.
Adam West. I don't know.
Adam West. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. He's a character. But no, we love our Adam, and we've been exploring. Along the way, we did Hustle, which was Adam had a more serious role, and he very much had a serious role in this movie, Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
That we're going to be talking about today. He really, actually, I didn't even think of this, but he really was not at all funny, like at all. I mean, like, and I know that was intentional, but he
Right.
really was, his character called for a very serious, nature and way of being, which is, again, another turn in Adam. And this was 2002, so it was kind of, not too long after his 90s, like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore kind of stage. But I read somewhere that the director really wanted to work with Adam Sandler and Daniel Day-Lewis, or I think that was on the Amazon like sidebar trivia thing or whatever.
Okay.
Because I watched this on Amazon Prime, and he was like dead set on this, and he was like, I want to work with them, and he was the only director apparently that's worked with both of them, like not on the same movie, but like everybody was kind of like, wow, they're very different, they have very different backgrounds, but he, I guess, really just saw something. Like Daniel Day-Lewis is like a serious actor, but Adam Sandler just wasn't considered that, so, but he did a really good job, really good.
Yeah, it was very different, a different reach for him too. I wasn't sure what to expect with this, especially like we had talked like at the beginning too. You don't know where this is going because you see this man in this very blue suit in a room by himself in this office, it's like, what is this? Then you see that it's a storage facility office or something. You weren't sure, like, does he have a real business? Is he just like playing office by himself? Like, I wasn't sure what, like, if this person had like a mental breakdown or what was happening at the very beginning.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. Like, you knew you were in for a strange ride from the start. And even the way it starts, there's no opening credits. It's probably done intentionally just to kind of get you in the story and feel kind of like thrown off from the start.
Yeah.
But it is, yeah, he's very much alone. Maybe the blue suit, maybe I'm reading way too much into this. Maybe it's like to symbolize his kind of depression, which we see.
Maybe.
Maybe, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I totally could be reading into that and just making that up in my head. But it does from the start. You get this impression that Barry, who is played by Adam Sandler, Barry Egan, he's a very kind of meek character, and he doesn't really stick up for himself. He's kind of seems downtrodden and down in his luck, and he's talking to the guy about the healthy choice points, which choice, whatever happened to healthy choice?
I don't know. They were like everywhere. Like,
yeah,
and they probably really did have pudding. I don't remember that, but
they did. I do remember that they did. I mean, I don't think I ate it, but like I remember seeing it. Like they had like soup, they had the frozen meals, and like they had a whole line.
Yeah, I remember the soup, and I remember the frozen meals. It was weird. I'm gonna get on a sidebar for a second.
Okay, that's what we do here.
It seems like for a while everyone was eating those frozen meals. I don't know if it was reminiscent of like when you're a kid in the 80s. It was like, okay, well, I have my frozen TV dinner, and now as an adult or whatever, I'm able to buy my own food. Let me buy frozen meals that are
but like a healthier option, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be. Yeah, I do remember that it was everywhere, and I remember thinking that like, oh wow, that's pretty cool that it's healthy, but it probably doesn't taste good. But I did try a few at some point, and they weren't bad, but it had like a lot of sodium because it's a frozen meal.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's really he's obsessed with it because he wants the like, I guess every 10 you buy, you get like 500 points. And with the
Hmm.
puddings, they were like individually marked, so you get more points. Like he
Yeah.
thinks it was kind of a mistake or whatever. But I kind of wonder actually now that I'm thinking about it, why was he doing that when he hadn't met Lena yet? Did he just kind of have a sense he wanted to get away, maybe?
Maybe. And it's funny. I was thinking almost of, again, weird brain. I was thinking of the kid who got the points for the Pepsi jet.
Oh, the jet. Yeah. That like, where's my jet, Pepsi? Yeah, that
Yes.
documentary.
So it's almost like he's trying to figure out, okay, well, what is the loophole to get this? It was almost like fun, like a gamble or a way to really have his mind go somewhere else instead of thinking of the present. It's like, okay, let me find this other reality so I can future think. Maybe that was his way of getting out of his depression of,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe he was thinking like, this is just something I can like have a goal, kind of,
yeah.
and it will change these things because he didn't seem to have good self awareness or like a good,
Hmm.
a way of like he knew when he talks to his brother in law. I know we're kind of jumping all around, but we're assuming you watched this from
Yeah.
23,
22.
24 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know was it 2002?
I
Did I
think
make that up?
so. Yeah, because it was 2002, but it looked like it was supposed to be a lot older because the cars were very dated. Did you notice
I
that?
didn't even realize that.
And the
Yeah.
technology was very dated. Like they were using the phones, like the payphones and different things like that. So I was wondering what year it was actually supposed to be.
People were still using that in 2002, but I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't
But
know.
you're right, like, the cars definitely looked older.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cars looked older than 2000, 2002.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, so it's kind of like a different time frame almost. Yeah. Weird. I see that kinda adds to, like, that weird, like, otherworldly, absurdist kind of element that is there, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't even think of that at all.
Well, and I was thinking, I don't know. I was thinking it might be a different time frame just because of the 900 numbers. It seemed like that was a big 80s thing. I was
Yeah,
surprised.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, and, like, looking in the newspaper and stuff like that, yeah. Or
Is
maybe
that how
we
he
just
found
don't
it?
remember. Yeah, he saw, like, something in a newspaper ad, and he's just like, "Let me try it," kinda thing.
Hmm.
But, yeah, yeah, maybe it was supposed to be, like, in the '80s or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, or maybe,
I don't
like
know.
yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if it's funny because I saw on the Amazon trivia that the director never really talked much about this, and he really I don't know if he just kinda wanted it to be, like, enigmatic and, like,
Yeah.
mysterious kinda thing,
Yeah.
it kinda goes along with it, but
Yeah.
maybe, like, if I think kind of those absurdist I keep using absurdist because I heard that described like that on, like, Wikipedia. That's not my word, but that's kind of the way it's described, and it does
Yeah.
fit it. I think they kind of, like, combine different time periods and just kinda, like, throw everything in there, so, yeah, that probably is part of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I think Barry, when he cries to his brother-in-law, which I felt so bad for him when he just like
Yeah.
starts to cry. I'm like, oh my God, like he's like a little kid emotionally, you
Yeah. He's
know?
like, I don't know. Sometimes I just cry for no reason. And then and the brother in law just stands there. And he's
Yeah, like he
like,
doesn't know how to like even talk to him or comfort him. Like, and he's like a doctor. He's like, but what's wrong? And it's like,
I'm an eye doctor or
yeah,
dentist. What
or
was
he was
he?
a dentist. Yeah. He's like, I'm a dentist. But like still, I mean, come on, have some compassion. Like, Jesus, you
Yeah.
see the way the sisters treat him. Come
Well,
on.
and that
You're
might also
married to
be
one of them.
yeah, he might also be like, I can't really show compassion to you because,
Then
this
I'll get it thrown at me
yeah,
by my wife.
yeah.
Other sisters. It's not funny because I feel really the way his sisters treat him is I know we were talking about this. I just find so infuriating and angering how they're so pushy and they're so involved with his life and they're so quick to label his, but like they don't seem to really look at their own and they kind of just put everything on him.
Yeah.
It's really and then they act like he's such a terrible person when he acts out and it's like where do you think that's gonna go if you
Yeah.
dump that on someone?
Well, and it's also like, and this happens in so many family systems where sometimes you're stuck in that age. Like, so
Yeah.
family members might grow, you're no longer 15 but they'll still remember or talk about, oh yeah, remember when blah 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 you did this, when like you threw a hammer, or you did this, or whatever was happening with him. But I know that happens a lot, like where you
Yeah.
feel like I know I felt like that, like in my own life, where it's like you feel like you're not even emotionally stuck in a time, but other people in your family still keep you in that age.
Yeah, that does happen. And I read a quote somewhere about that phenomenon that said, like, people keep you in a certain time period and in certain situations because they feel like they had the most power over you, and that feels good to them. And that says a lot more
Wow.
about them.
Wow. Can you say that again? Just that's a really deep
I'm
quote.
butchering it. I don't think I'm getting
Yeah.
but if you look it up,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
people keep you stuck in like a certain time period because that's the one where they had the most power over you. And I know us as I don't know if Barry was the youngest, but I know we're both youngest, and so I think
Yeah.
we kind of relate to that because we probably had we
Yeah.
had like the least amount of power in
Yeah.
our families.
Well, and I
So
still feel like sometimes I have to remind people that I'm not, not saying like, hey, I'm not 15 or I'm not 16.
right.
But I feel like sometimes it's like almost like, hey, wait, I'm able to do this because I'm an adult, or I
Yeah.
don't have to ask permission, or hey, guess what? I'm
Yeah.
not still making those stupid decisions, or yeah, haha, that happened. But guess what? It was like a long time ago.
Right. And like I don't even want to, like, why would you even bring that up other than to just give yourself some power? It's so
Yeah.
stupid. It's, and I really, his sisters really seem to be really projecting their own misery and insecurities. And like, it kind of seems like they all have a scapegoat, sort
Yeah.
of.
Well, just even when he comes in, like into the birthday party, so they're all like talking around the island or whatever, and they're talking about him. So they are
And he
already,
walks back out. He's like, I don't want this. He like
yeah,
comes back in like,
he's like out, in, out. I think he has to like psych himself out. So it
yeah.
takes him like a good 3 or 4 times, and then I was so pissed when I saw like he had this little box, this little pastry or cake or something. She's like, oh, I already have a cake.
She's like, there's a cake there. Like, she doesn't even like acknowledge it. Yeah. She's so rude.
Yeah, I was like, what a
Yeah.
jerk.
It's like, and you get the impression he's just, that's the way he's always been treated, like he just, he probably was very sensitive, but also was overrun. I mean, by 7 sisters. I had 4, and I cannot imagine having 3
Yeah, I
more.
can't imagine.
That's
Yeah, that would be a
insane.
lot. That'd be a lot.
It's like and they keep him in that. They keep him in the like, oh, you're remember that? Remember when we used to call you, they said something awful about him,
Yeah.
like basically defining him as something, and
Yeah.
it just kept bringing it up. And it's like, they'll ask about his business, but then they'll kind of be like, why do you do that? Why do you do that? And it's just like, everything is like,
Yeah.
he can't just be, and they can't see him.
Yeah, and then
They're
they
just
and then
like
they said something
jerks.
after they were attacking him. They're like, "Oh, you didn't bring a hammer, did you?" Because I guess
Oh my
in the
God.
past, when they would, I guess they probably were like always at him. So he'd probably like punch walls and take hammers to stuff, and so it's just his way of releasing, which of course it's not a healthy way. But when you don't
But he
have
had
any
no other
other tools,
means towards it.
no other tools. So
Yeah.
then he just like
His way of
full
coping
on
was
kicks.
just to like go
Yeah.
destroy a wall, and like then they
Yeah.
would like judge him for that and not see the connection at all. And they still
I
were
mean,
doing it as an adult.
yeah. Then he just
Yeah.
like smashes the window, and their French doors or whatever, the sliding doors, and then they're just like, oh, like not realizing like, hey, you get at him like within 2 seconds of him coming into this house and this party.
Yeah, they don't take any responsibility for that. Instead, they call him more awful names and say like, "Are you a so and so?" And I'm not going to say that word, but
Yeah.
"Are you this or that?" No, don't even like. It's such a dysfunctional way, because like in a healthy family, they'd probably be like, "Oh my gosh, like what's going on?" They wouldn't be
Mhm.
teasing him about something that obviously was the result of him being just severely bullied
Yeah.
and stuck in that. But yeah, so they have their own dysfunction, and I think that's why he never really knows how to connect to people, because he's never
Mhm.
really seen. Instead, he has to kind of just keep to himself and not like he has to kind of hide behind people pleasing, and kind of be like, oh, I can't tell who I really am because that gets mocked if I'm like vulnerable, if I kind of put myself out there. So I have to kind of hide and be distant. And they're always like, how come don't try and sneak out of this? And it's like, why would he want to be around that? Why would he want to go and be just mocked incessantly and teased? They're relentless. Yeah, it's awful. I think that forms a lot of who he is. And he never learned to cope. He just kind of got really angry and, would just learn to take it out by punching things and, things around him. And I don't think he ever learned to get close to anyone until he met Lena, and he felt like, oh, she accepts me and I can be close with her.
Yeah. His coworker, the Louis Guzman?
Mm-hmm.
His character, it seemed like they had a good friendship, but he's also his coworker or employee. But it seemed like what I did like about like all the people that worked there, whatever they did, I don't even know what they did for work. Sold plungers.
I think it was like novelties. They like made like novelty things or something.
Yeah. But it seemed like everyone was very in tune to Barry at his office. If he did something, they all were like very like watching him and worried about him. And I noticed that like it seemed like everybody there was very aware, even though he might not have been receiving it anywhere else. His little office, his little weird little workspace seemed like it was almost like a safe spot for him.
Yeah. Like they understood his, like maybe they didn't know where it came from, but they understood kind of his like fluctuating moods and kind of like when he maybe got upset, like they seemed to kind of work with that as opposed to like putting him down further.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, he really has, I mean, you really feel bad for him because you can see he's really a lonely person. He's never really connected with anyone and he has depression. He's very sad. He cries a lot and he doesn't know how to be. He's socially awkward. He doesn't really know. He misplaces words. He'll say things like, oh, this, like when he said like, I'm food instead of I'm good. And
oh, you said
and then
I'm
he said
food.
like,
yeah.
And the brother-in-law was kind of like, oh, maybe it's just because you're hungry. He was like kind of seeing like, it's okay, like it's not a big deal. Maybe you're just subconsciously thinking you're hungry, like whatever. But the sister's like, why would you say that? Yeah.
And that happens a lot when people have anxiety too, where it's like, okay, well, my brain isn't working faster, or I'm just trying to have some sort of conversation. It's so difficult. And he probably did have anxiety, social anxiety, or a mix of depression or something. And talking with these people who he knows he's going to get judged no matter what he says, it's probably so hard to even formulate a sentence.
Yeah, I think he has like a hyper vigilance in his head, kind of always watching for that, because it's like something that really broke him, and kind of kept him in a very like low state. And I think he really, it's just almost like he can't even concentrate on the words. He's just like, it just comes out really random. And he also isn't, I mean, like when he starts to talk to Lena and he's in Hawaii to go and meet her, he like starts to ask her all these questions that he probably should have asked like in person on the first date, or kind of at some point when they're in person. He's like, so have you been married before? Like, where are you from? She's like, we should probably talk in person. He's like, okay, so like where are you from though? Like originally. And he just doesn't really
he doesn't understand. He's like, it's funny. I used to have a coworker like that. Like it was like, I'm sure we've all had those coworkers. I just remember at one of my old jobs, it's like they wouldn't know how to end a sentence or a conversation. It would be like, you're like giving all the clues, you're going back to work, you're back at your computer, you're typing, they're still talking. You're like, okay.
Like I am literally leaving the room right now and you're not stopping, but okay. Yeah. I mean, he's a very, benign, very sweet presence. I think he's probably just trying to figure out how to connect with people, because he had to really, I think, disconnect and just not, just kind of focus on things like his job, or maybe getting the mileage points or whatever. He needed to kind of have those things, because he just couldn't, it was too much. He just was given this impression, this feedback from himself growing up, that he was just always like a weird, bad person and was always mocked. And so how would he think that, he can connect with anyone?
Yeah.
And
But
he kind of
he doesn't.
stays away from, like he's not deserving of it. Yeah. And it's funny to me that his sister Elizabeth tries to set him up with her friend, who's Lena, turns out to be Lena. He, it's kind, I mean, like, I understand why, because his sisters are very pushy, but it almost seems like she wouldn't even, it's almost like she set it up to be like he's too weird. Sorry about that, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like almost to kind of further add to that or something.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't always wear that suit. I don't know. I'm sorry. He's
And
so
she didn't seem
weird.
to care. Lena didn't seem to care. It was just so weird. It was like her own thing, Elizabeth's own thing.
And meanwhile, Lena had already met him earlier because she entrusted the stranger with her car keys.
Well, she knew who he was. She said at the end, she was like, I actually came up to meet you because I saw a picture of you and I just really felt like I had to meet you. Like she was really drawn to him, and it was probably because she sensed something very sensitive and just, I don't know,
I must have
really
missed
like,
that part.
yeah, she said at the end, she was like, or I think it was when they were in Hawaii that she was like, I actually knew who you were and knew where you worked, and I wanted to meet you because I saw this picture of you and your sisters, and I was really drawn to you, so I wanted to like meet you before, because she knew Elizabeth was going to try and set them up. And so that's why she had her car there. Like it wasn't a coincidence. So she maybe is a little bit
weird,
kind of quirky, maybe, and kind of just, or I don't know, maybe she sensed something in him that just she was very drawn to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they definitely kind of like a little bit of like a soulmate-ish kind of feeling to it. But
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that. I liked that she was, I don't understand why she was friends with Elizabeth, or maybe just because that's her boss.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know what they did, but yeah, Elizabeth was her boss.
Yeah, so maybe she felt like she kind of had to. But yeah, it's I think she just really felt like this was somebody special and different. And I do have to say, if I were, and I know I'm speaking just from random, this is a movie, and it's ridiculous, and I know, but this is what I do. I think if I met someone like him, he does seem like he is a very sweet person, and I think has really good intentions. But I think if I had been on a date with someone and we were asked to leave, and it was kind of under weird circumstances, like when he beats up the bathroom.
Yeah.
I know she doesn't know right away, but I think I would have been like, that's weird, and I would have been a little bit, I don't know, kind of, and some of the things he says, he's like lying, and I think she kind of knows that, and I don't know.
Yeah, you would wonder,
little,
like, did his credit card get denied? Has he been here before? Why are we being told to leave?
Yeah, it just doesn't really, I don't know. I would be like, wait, what? Why did we have to leave? That would be very strange to me, like no matter what, but I know it's just a movie, and I think she's just she just really sees like, okay, maybe he has some stuff going on, but
and then you wouldn't call your door person to call him, to talk to him right away before he leaves to tell him that you want to kiss him.
Yeah. Maybe she is a little awkward herself. There is some, I don't know, or maybe she's just thinking he's
maybe she's
just quirky.
Maybe she has high empathy or something.
Yeah, maybe she kind of just really sees him and recognizes that he has a lot of good in him. But I do think that I'm not a fan of rom-coms, and I don't love the overall. I like how the movie did it. I really like this. Like I like the movie a lot. But I think there's a part of me that sort of maybe cringes a little bit when I'm like, okay, everything is solved by just finding a person. That makes me a little like that didn't really help out with all the mental health issues, and like, is this going to be codependent? But I think in his case, he really is just like, he just has literally never had that bridge, that connection there, and like just having that meant everything.
He's never had like any secure attachment or anything.
Yeah.
He's always had like, his anxiousness has always been almost reinforced by his 7 sisters too. Like they've never really let him have his own thoughts or experiences or screw ups, or
just let him be. Yeah. He's just always judged and put down, and then judged further when he acts out because of their treatment.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think it really is nice to see his evolution of kind of like when he does have that secure attachment, when he does have that love, you see him really gaining courage. He really starts to see like, wait a minute, I'm just gonna take the brothers on, the ones that, came over to
Yeah.
beat him up and rough him up and take his money. And then he goes to Utah to go right to the source and be like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to let you mess with me, and kind of stands up to them. Like he says, like, I have
Yeah.
so much strength in me right now because I have a girl I love, kind of thing.
Yeah. What was it that he had the guy say? Was it and something
And
like,
that, or
and that's that? Yeah. Because then they're just going to come after him. He's like, and that's that.
yeah, that's like he needed to have the last word. The Dean character, who's played by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah. Who I thought was, who did I say? Kiefer Sutherland for most of the movie. I don't know what I was thinking. First, I'm like, is that like did Kiefer Sutherland age badly? And then I realized who it was, like a little bit in. Just like I was telling you the other day, random, that I was watching Tropic Thunder. And it took me like until like a few bits in the movie to realize that the boss, the director, owner, whatever movie, was like Tom Cruise. It's like sometimes it's like, wait a minute, what?
Well, he was definitely disguised. A lot of people actually didn't realize that when it first came out. Like, it was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, and I've seen this movie. I've seen Tropic Thunder so many times, but then I forgot that Tom Cruise was in it, or maybe I never even realized it.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah, it really is
so dumb. It's
really funny.
It's so dumb. But yeah,
that might be something we could talk about, because that has Ben Stiller, and
it is. That's a 6 degree of separation, so we could kind of make that work. And yeah, some of the Jack Black is in it too. Kind of funny. But Ben Stiller. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So I with Philip Seymour Hoffman, it took me a little bit. I mean, he was so good at it. He plays angry very well.
Yeah,
he plays dirtbag. Or he played dirtbag and angry really well.
He does. And just like keeping, when he like has him on the phone before Barry comes down, he's like, shut up. Like, and he just does it so perfectly. Yeah. And he's like, you deserve this. Like, he's such a sleazebag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how gross he looks when she's cutting his hair. I don't know. It's just such a gross scene. You could actually, the way it's directed too, you can almost like, I don't know, like smell the dirty warehouse, and that, it just seems so, you get all the emotions with it while you're watching the hair. Well, at least I was like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, no, I think it is. It's very visceral. Like, I think the directing and the production of it was really, really great. And like the casting was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I don't know if I said this here or if this is when we were talking before, but the director really wanted to work with Adam Sandler and Daniel Day-Lewis, who was not in this movie, but he worked with him in a couple other movies after this. But he really wanted to work with Adam. And this is a role where Adam is very, he's definitely got some mental health issues, but also just some life issues, just kind of like the way it played out in his life. And he was not an ounce of funny in this. But he was great. He was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
It was really good. Yeah, there's parts where you're like, like, I don't know, you really felt, I felt for Barry. At first it was like, oh, what a loser. At times, like, and then you realize like, oh no, this poor guy. Then you're so rooting for him, especially like as he's running down, like long hallways seem to be the theme too. You're like different places where he's just running away from those guys. When he was running away from the guys, the brothers in the truck, you're just like, oh my gosh, this poor guy. And he's hiding, and you could feel the fear that he's having, and you're just like, oh gosh. And just how he felt so defeated when they're like, we know where you live. That it's just like such a pivotal point too, where I think he was trying to run away from his anxiety, but also kind of trying to have some control by going to Hawaii.
Yeah and kind of his avoidance of it, but also going towards something that he knew would help him, like Lena would, he felt like that connection. He just had a sense of that. And he really, I really think in this movie, what, besides the good acting, the script, everything else that was great about it, the directing, everything, is the music was really, really like kind of showed the oddness of it and kind of the like offbeatness of it. And I did see again on the on the Amazon trivia. I like to read those things that
I'll have to look at that.
it was something like they composed it in live time. The person who composed it, I can't remember their name, but they did a great job. They composed it in live time and then would have it playing on set to kind of get the mood of it. And I was just listening to it and I was like, wow, that really would get them into like the universe of this. It's like its own little universe. And the way that they showed the different colors, like, was kind of like his emotions and kind of the setting the scene.
Like the pinks and the blues and like how the line went up and stuff like that too is kind of, okay, how is he feeling, or is he feeling stressed, or
and there were definitely some, I think, I could be reading too much into this, but I feel like this was, nothing in there was unintentional. There was like the symbolism of when the boxes would crash in the warehouse, like, you know, they kind of drove the forklift into it, and Adam had just kind of had this whole spell. It's kind of like showing like the chaos that's going on in his head, and they would have some moments of that. And like Luis Guzman, who played Lance, fell off his chair after there was another moment of his confrontation with like the sex worker lady, Georgia or whatever, in quotation marks, you know. And so I think there was just a lot of elements that I really like when they use kind of symbolism and different visuals and music well like that. It really fit. It was really good. So I think it was, you know, and we were talking about the title before too, even the title, and I felt the same way you did. Like, I did not understand the title. Like, I thought it was like punch period drunk period love. It's not, but it's punch drunk, like hyphenated, and then love. And so that makes more sense to me. I don't think I understood this when I watched this a long time ago and did not understand it and was just like, that was weird. I didn't get it at all.
Yeah, it's like
I definitely didn't remember it.
He wasn't, but he did punch something.
Yeah, it kind of fits in line with the oddness of the story, the title. It's just very odd, but I like odd. And so I can do, I'm not a fan of rom-coms, but I can do the element of like romance when it's in this quirky kind of weirdness. I can do that. I like those things, and like kind of little symbolic Easter eggs and stuff. I like those movies. So I think it was a really,
it was one of those movies too.
Good movie.
I felt like you had to, I was gonna say I felt like it was one of those movies where you wanted to watch. It wasn't like, you know, some movies you could be distracted doing other things, but I felt really into the movie. I didn't get bored. I really wanted to just watch it. Except I did miss that one part that she said at the, you know, how, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it was really good. I think Adam was awesome. I think all the characters were really good, and I think it's its kind of own genre of movie. It's just a I think I read, I'm not sure if again in the trivia that this got nominated for like in a musical category or something. I don't know if I read that wrong, but maybe just for the music score. So I don't know. It really, you know, this was, a lot of people were talking about this. I remember this was pretty popular. People thought it was kind of just its own category of movie. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of came out and kind of made people look at things a little differently. So I always kind of like those if it's done well. And this was.
Sure, I think it did win awards too, like as far as like the actual movie too.
I don't actually know that, but it probably did. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I mean, it's I really do like the evolution of his character, and kind of seeing how, when given the appropriate support and love and just being able to be himself and discover that, and kind of be like, oh, I can be awkward and somebody's going to be okay with that. You know, they're not going to just trample me under their feet, you know, helps him to really, you know, kind of stick up for himself, and also just go after what he wants, and, you know, kind of have more control in his life, and feel like he's not just like a passive kind of character sitting on the waves. He's actually like, okay, if I want to do this, I'm going to do this. And that felt a lot better, you know, because he felt like he wasn't so like beaten down by life. But, you know, I do wonder if, and I know, again, this is a movie, I'm overanalyzing, but I do wonder if that changed his relationship with his sisters, like with boundaries and being like, don't call me here, or, you know, and I know that when he was in Hawaii asking for the number, he yelled back at Elizabeth and was like, don't do this to me. You're so mean, you know, and like, you shouldn't, this is cruel, you know, and then he says some kind of crazy things. he was basically just like, don't, like, the way you kind of just tease me and are like, oh, why do you want it? And like dangle it over my head. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, you could just say,
Like,
here it
I
is.
like that. Yeah. I was like, good. Yeah. She's like, why do they just mess around with him like that? She's so mean.
Yeah. I just read something really strange. I'm sorry. Cause I was trying to find something about like if they won any awards, but then I put like, and then all of a sudden what came up was, what is the alien theory in Punch Drunk Love? There's some evidence to support the theory that Lena is an alien, and the crash in the opening represents her arrival on Earth, including the television sets which are playing the Apollo moon landing or the alien-like flares seen throughout, or even the DVD chapter titles Lena Drops and Alien Abduction. What?
Okay, I guess that's a way to go. That's interesting. I didn't think of that at all, but that's okay.
I didn't either. That's insane, I think, but I don't know.
You know how, like, I guess with some movies you can kind of, if you really follow a thread, if you're really looking at it from that point of view, you're like, oh yeah, that kind of could work. I mean, I guess I could see that a little bit. I definitely, because I don't really know how that kind of car crash and the piano, I think, or the harmonium or whatever, is very much kind of like something that gets dropped off to him that's very kind of almost like a gift from the universe. It's very much like, this is something to help you and soothe you kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's weird too, because the car crash, which we don't know if it really happened or not, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of debris after. And then
very weird.
Like just some company just drops off this piano thing. I was thinking they're just dropping it off in the road just so they don't have to dump it or pay for it to be done. I don't know. But then he notices it. But then finally he's like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to run. But it's like almost he knew he wasn't supposed to get it because he's like, run, drop my coffee, run. It was like in like almost like top secret, have to hurry up and do it before anyone else gets it or something. But I don't know.
You know what I was thinking is actually, I wonder if the harmonium kind of represents almost like a magic. This is again far-fetched, but I mean, I wonder if it represents kind of like a gift to him, kind of like this will give you the will to kind of like move through this sort of, you know, like this will give you the courage and the desire, because once that starts, it kind of starts him on a different, once he gets that, it starts him on a different path. Like maybe it was like supposed to be something from the universe to be like, hey, you have the courage to do this, you can change your life kind of thing. I don't know.
It puts him to start focusing how to fix it too, like the little airbag thing in it. He's like, okay, let me duct tape it or figure out how it works.
Like his life, like he's got to fix his life. That's so maybe that's what it is.
I don't really see the alien thing, but maybe the harmonium thing.
I don't see the alien thing too much either. I mean, I guess if you really want to.
I guess if you rewatch it and you're like, okay, I'm going to watch it in an alien lens, maybe it might feel different. Or if any movie, I guess if you just were looking at it in an alien abduction, alien lens, I guess anything could be anything.
That's true. Yeah, if you kind of have that confirmation bias, you're going to go for that and think, I mean, she did kind of have a unique look to her, and like really bright blue eyes, you know, like really kind of stunning blue eyes. I don't know if maybe that's kind of where they got that from, or maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just people just being creative and trying to make an alternate kind of theory about
I mean,
it.
Is the director known for sci-fi? Is that why people are going there? I don't know.
Think so. Actually, I don't know much about this director, or maybe I do and don't realize it. Like maybe I've seen other movies, but I'm not completely clear on that. But I don't think so. I think it's probably more kind of like maybe like just odd movies, like offbeat movies. I would guess just from this one, or maybe this was a one-off. I don't know. But and I think this director is pretty famous, has done some like good, like famous movies. I just don't personally know. I'm not like well aware of it. But so that is Punch Drunk Love. There was actually a lot of mental health themes, but it was also just a good movie, an interesting movie. Like you said, it definitely keeps your attention. It's really interesting. I like the visuals.
Because I wasn't sure, because I was like, okay. And I forgot what the movie is about when I was watching it. I watched it this morning and I was really surprised. I was surprised how interested I was in it.
Yeah, me too, because I did watch it a while ago, but I don't really remember much from it. And I just remember feeling like it was kind of heavy, and I didn't understand why Adam Sandler was in that role.
Yeah.
But I didn't grasp it. I didn't understand. I don't think I watched
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah. Sometimes things need to be watched again in a different lens. Just like,
And in a different point in your life. Yeah.
I think that's what Tanya and I discovered too with this Adam Sandler journey, or the 80s and 90s journey too, is that a lot of movies and stuff we're seeing, we're like, okay, I didn't see it like that. Or this is a little different.
Yeah, it is. It's really because I think, there's that saying, like, as you get older or in different phases in your life, you're gonna, like, if you rewatch like series, like, TV series or movies, or reread books even, the lens, the perspective that you're coming out of is your own, right? That's kind of what it's being
Yeah.
filtered through. And you change, you start to, you grow, and you evolve or change your
Yeah.
mind, about different things. So it's going to affect how you see and feel about different, books, shows, movies,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just don't think I was really paying attention to it when I first watched it. And I think I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just was not super into it. But this time I do feel like I get it. I'm sorry. I do feel like I get it, and I could pick up on some more things, probably just with more like life experience and being able to understand myself better. I
Yeah.
think it kind of requires you to and understand like mental health kind of,
Yeah.
Things. So yeah, it is really interesting. Yeah, that's Punch Drunk Love. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about?
No, because we talked about the family relationships, him, his anxiety, probably depressive. And who knows, maybe the depression and crying was because his anxiety is so high, because that can show up too with social anxiety or whatever is happening. But yeah, I think we covered a lot. And sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, 24 years later, we're spoiling it for you all, but you know how this podcast goes if you're a listener. If not, sorry, this is the way it goes. So
welcome.
Yes. But yeah, so we have at the end, and if you're new here, or if you already know this, you know this about us, we like to have a fun challenge question that relates or loosely relates to the movie, usually because I can't necessarily think of one. But I was having a tough time with this. Like, I actually like to do it spontaneously. And I was just kind of thinking of it over the last 2 minutes, kind of in the back of my mind. And the only thing I can really think of for this, and maybe this is kind of a weird connection to this because it doesn't really connect, is Barry's business is very much like a novelty business. I believe. I think he makes like kind of, it looks like he has kind of all these other products that are just kind of like random things. He's got like that plunger that I don't know what's so special about it, but I guess I was wondering if I think they develop these products. So if you were in that business, what novelty item do you think would sell, or would you want to kind of develop? I know it's kind of a weird question. It's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, because it's weird. Because it seemed like his novelty thing, he was doing like a glass plunger, which seems like such a dangerous, dumb idea. Because it
does like that would break. I think
because if you're plunging a toilet and then it shatters, now you're.
He said it wasn't. It was like unbreakable, but I don't know if I would trust that.
Yeah, but the one he showed like broke everywhere.
Yeah.
If I had to make a novelty thing, I'm trying to think of something practical too. I think I wish I was the person who invented the warmers that you put in gloves and boots. I mean, and I remember like even when I lived up in Rhode Island, like they had something similar to that, like where you'd put, like, or even like those isotoners that were like super warm, but I wish I had thought of like, oh yeah, like those little heat packs. If you put it, like you crunch it up, and that's something you can put in your hand so your mittens are warm, or so your feet are warm. I think something like that, especially now. I mean, like you guys must be freezing up north, but I think I wish I would invent something like that. I would have brought it onto Shark Tank.
That is great, yeah, because that's something people always need. Colder climates or seasonally cold climates. It's like never gets old. Like that's something. Yeah.
And my toes are always cold. I don't know. I think I'd like something like that.
Me too. Yeah, my hands and my feet are always cold. Yeah. So yeah, even in like winter or
Yeah.
summer sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my
Same.
God, what's wrong with me?
Yeah. I'm always cold on my toes. And I'm like wondering, I'm like, but it's always been like that. I was going to say, I don't know if it's since I got my thyroid taken out, but I think I've always had
Oh,
like cold hands and toes. Like it's,
yeah, yeah. It's kind of like I've heard it's a circulation issue. Like it might be kind of like you're not getting enough circulation, but I don't know. I think some people just have that.
yeah.
I don't know because
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I definitely have it. But no, that is a good idea. I like that. I like that. I'm really scrambling. I'm trying to think of because I think of these questions and I do not think of an answer.
Would it be
So
practical? You think you'd want something fun or
that's
practical?
I guess maybe probably more practical because it would probably sell a little more,
Yeah.
but um I don't really know. I'm thinking something like maybe some sort of I keep thinking like of an app, but I'm like I don't know if that's considered a novelty. No, it would have to be something that's like an object, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Like
Because that's like the
white out.
novelty
I don't know. It
business.
could be. I mean, like, but in 2002, I mean, they weren't really thinking of apps and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of apps that are so helpful.
Yeah. Like I would love to have like had an app that, like the app that was like oh crap, I just thought of it. Oh man, what is one that everybody always uses?
Like for anxiety or something like Finch or like Headspace or
Like I was thinking kind of like the Calm app
oh
or
yeah.
like, kind of that type of thing where people yeah, like kind of like yeah, like Finch or something like that where people can, get a lot off of this, but also I think a lot of people want to use it because it's very helpful. So
Yeah.
that's probably something I would like to do. I don't know if that counts as novelty, but then again, the question wasn't really thought
Yeah, I
out
think so. I
too
mean, like you
much.
created the question, so you're able to have expand on it.
I can just make anything up.
No, what I really meant to ask was
What app would you develop?
yeah,
No,
that's what
I
I
think
meant. You didn't hear me right.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, I guess that's honestly the only thing I can think of, which again, I don't connect these two, just my brain doesn't connect it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the best I can do. Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of cool things. I'm sure I'll think of it afterwards and be like, "Oh, I would have said this," but
Yeah.
my mind is blank right now. But yeah, so that is our show for today and our podcast for today and
Thanks for
um
joining.
like stuck in the 1950s like yeah, 1950s show. Yeah, so we hope you liked it. We hope that you find this intersection of mental health and Adam Sandler, and it'll soon be like 6 degrees of Adam
Yeah.
Sandler.
And I mean, I feel like there's still like so many Adam Sandler movies we haven't seen, but
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
is going to
He's
be
done
like
so many.
there's a lot like yeah, I was gonna see what the next episode. We're gonna do something called Bulletproof, which I have never seen. It's an Adam
I have me
Sandler.
neither. I have no idea what it's about. Nothing, which is
So
it's kind of exciting to like
yeah, it's
just
kind of
have
fun
something
going
new.
blind. Yeah, just to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's and then yeah,
yeah,
then we keep going through Adam for a little bit, and I'm sure that's when there is going to be because it started our 6 degrees started with something with Winona Ryder. I think it started with mermaids, and then we somehow
oh
eventually
yeah,
got to Adam Sandler.
yeah. We did like Cher,
Yeah, with
Winona
Cher
Ryder.
and then we got to Mr. Deeds somehow, and then we realized that this is where we want to land.
Yes, and then Adam was the jump over. Oh, okay. So we're going. Yeah, we've had evolutions of people. So maybe we'll
Yeah,
be, in a year we'll be on another person who's like
yeah,
another, few degrees away from Adam.
yeah, yeah. Well, we have said we still want to somehow visit Steve Buscemi. So
Yes,
that's still. I mean, he does show up a lot because he's in a lot of these movies, but
I love him.
I do too. He's just so fun.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah, so you'll see we got a lot more coming up. Let us know what you think if you have any suggestions or
Yeah.
any, that are within the degrees or maybe just something
Hmm.
different, whatever you're
Yeah.
thinking and anything about this episode if you want to just, put in your 2 cents in any way, shape or form. We love to hear from you. Yeah, connect with us on socials. We're on everything including YouTube if you want to watch us
Hmm.
with our visuals. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that will that will do it for this edition of Adam Sandler movies and our Adam Sandler journey at this point.
Apologize for those that don't like him, but hopefully we're getting you to understand him a little bit more.
Yeah. Because I gotta say, even I thought I knew his movies pretty well, and I've definitely seen him from a different perspective, even, which was just I already liked him, but I really like him. Don't forget, stay wicked.
And keep your mind well. All right, everyone, have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.